Here it is, and it looks sweet, but there's your $31,000 right there. So maybe somebody in the comments can tell me if it's worth that, but I would assume no. All right, so today we're going to go check out some new car dealerships, see some prices. What I've noticed, I'm a used car dealer at a lot of these wholesale auctions that I'm going to, is that the inventory levels are going down and down and down and down, and how we get our inventory at these wholesale dealer auctions is from new car dealer trade-ins. So if the inventory auctions are going down, that means trade-ins are going down. That means these new car dealers aren't selling a whole lot of cars. And I can check all these dealers that are in my area because they send cars to my auctions. So I brought my lovely wife, that's my wife, along with me today. Would you like to say anything to the people today? No. Is that enough? All right, so we're going to go look at some cars. All right, so this is a 2023 Grand Jeep Cherokee. It's limited, but it's not four-wheel drive. It's just two-wheel drive vehicle. This is not a Porsche. This is not an Audi. This is not an Acura. This is a Jeep Cherokee, and their MSRP is $54,000. You got your add-ons. The total asking price is $57,000. You're gonna have a doc fee on top of that, so 58 grand is what this Cherokee for a family is going to cost. Families just, they can't afford that anymore. It's too much money. All right, so this is the cheapest thing that we were able to find. It's a Compass Altitude 4x4, and they have an MSRP on it for $36,000, and they're adding a bunch of fees, say door edge guards, door cups. Door cups are 300 bucks. Window tint, nitrogen, the fancy air, that's $200. Low jack, 1,500 bucks. Wheel locks, $150. So total for all that extra stuff is $3,139. So you get a total price, cheapest thing that's on their lot, $39,319. You're going to have a doc fee on top of that. So you're not getting out the door for a new vehicle cheaper than $40,000 here at this Jeep dealership right now.
I love door cups.
All right, so I wanted to go to a Jeep dealership in particular today because their sales have been down, but their net incomes have been up. So what does that tell you? That means that they're charging way more per vehicle than they had been to be able to still keep their net incomes up, but they're selling way less cars. And I know this because I'm seeing what they're sending to dealer auctions, and they're sending less and less and less in trade-ins. And if they're sending less trade-ins, that means that they're doing less deals on their lot. And ultimately, that's going to hurt these franchise dealers because they still need to sell volume. They have a lot of expenses, and if they're making more per car, yeah, that's good on a per car basis, but they still have to roll volume because all of these cars, I mean, this dealer lot, it's full. And what I've seen too is they're not charging any dealer adjustments on the vehicles that they have here because they really can't, because the excuse that these dealers have been using to charge these dealer adjustments have been because these vehicles are scarce. So if a customer walks up here and sees 20, 30 Jeep Wranglers on this lot, and the salesperson trying to say, well, we can charge this dealer adjustment because there's not very many of them in the system, and the customer turns around and looks and like, well, there's 30 of them right behind me, then it really, that doesn't hold any water. So they're not able to charge these market adjustments when they have these crazy amount of supply on hand. All right, so we got a 2023 Ram 1500 Laramie Crew Cab 4x4, and it is an MSRP of $71,000. They got add-ons of about 4,700 bucks. This is low jack, this is running boards, spray and liner, but all that comes up to about 4,700 bucks. So their price on this truck is $75,000. That is crazy money for a truck. And what Stellantis has said, which is just the mother company for Jeep, Dodge, Ram, is that they want to keep their prices higher. They know that they're going to be going into a time period where they're going to be selling less vehicles. People have less money, so they have to make more per car. And they're trying to price themselves along with some of the more luxury brands, your Lexus, your your Audi, your Acura, some of these higher tier brands of cars. And at the end of the day, a lot of times it's still a Jeep Cherokee, it's still these Jeep Compass that they're trying to sell. They don't have that kind of level of following yet for that type of customer. Now they still have the Jeep Wranglers. Jeep Wranglers are going to command money, they're always going to do that. There's a huge following for those, but Jeep Cherokees are really not going to. So I think they're going to struggle in being able to attract this higher tier level of customer, and they're really, I think, hurting themselves because they're throwing out all of these mid-tier customers that used to be diehard Jeep fans, and now a $70,000, a $60,000, a $50,000 Jeep Cherokee, that's the cheapest ones that they can find, that they bought for years and years and years, now they can't afford that. And from walking this dealer, I actually don't think it's a dealership problem. Now, I've been ragging a lot on my channel about franchise dealers and them charging all these outrageous fees. Now, there's still some fees on these cars that I still think are ridiculous, but there's no market adjustments at this dealer right here. They're selling a lot of their vehicles from MSRP, and a lot of them have a $2,000, $3,000, not market adjustment, but all which things that they add, like low jack, the floor mats. I saw cup holders in the doors for one extra charge, which is absolutely ridiculous, but it's $2,000-$3,000. It's not $10,000 market adjustment. So I think a lot of Jeep's problems is going to come from actually their high prices, not necessarily franchise dealers. Because we're on a franchise dealer right here, like I said, they're charging for the most part MSRP with a little bit extra add-on fees, but not these market adjustments. So Jeep is going to have a problem because of their pricing, and not necessarily like Ford's having issues with their franchise dealers charging ridiculous market adjustments. So I don't really see them having problems with their dealers, but I see them having problems because they're just their base prices, their MSRPs are way too high and people cannot afford them. All right, so this is a 2022 Jeep Wagoneer. My wife just pulled up the price on it. It's used, it's got 5,000 miles on it, but they are still asking $76,000 for it. It's a used vehicle, $76,000. It's crazy. All right, so this is a 2023 Wrangler Rubicon. It's a 4-door. A lot of you have been asking me about them. So the MSRP on this one is $63,000. They have their add-ons, so you can pay $66,000 for this Rubicon. That's the Jeep price. All right, so there's your MSRP on this truck, and they would like to charge you $31,000 for a lift kit. I don't know if there's anything special about that lift kit, but it is a lift kit for $31,000. So then you can pay for this truck $95,000. Here it is, and it looks sweet, but there's your $31,000 right there. So maybe somebody in the comments can tell me if it's worth that, but I would assume no. All right, so just to show you a comparison, this is a Toyota lot that's right next door to the Jeep lot we just went to. And I really don't think it's an issue with the actual dealers, again, like I said, at the Jeep dealership, because like a lot of these cars that we're seeing are right around MSRP. I think the problem is with the actual makers. Now, the issue with Toyota right now is that they're still low on production. They're still claiming that there's a big chip shortage problem. They're not able to get cars out. But when they're able to get cars out, they're selling them. So, in just this case, it's not a problem with the dealer. And the reason I know that is because both of these dealers, both the Jeep dealer and the Toyota dealer, they're actually owned by the same franchise. So this Toyota dealer, they're selling cars. They're selling so many they can't keep them in stock because Toyota's not providing them with enough cars. But with the Jeep dealership over there, they're having a hard time selling stuff because what they have to sell them for is just so much, because Jeep is cranking up their MSRPs, and they're spending so much money to produce these cars to keep a higher budget vehicle, to keep their margins up, that's why they're having struggles over there. So Toyota's doing good. They're selling cars. They're not producing enough of them. They're having supply chain issues still, and Jeep is not selling a whole lot because their prices are too high. All right, so for affordable cars, Toyota, they still have affordable cars. I'm not saying these prices are good. They're still MSRP, but for a 4-door Camry, a sedan that you can get, is $30,000. So the family vehicle over at Jeep is going to be your Grand Jeep Cherokee. You're paying 50 plus for it, but you can go to Toyota, buy a 4-door sedan, and still be right around $30,000 for it. All right, because I know somebody's going to ask, I'm at a Toyota dealership, how much is Tacoma? This is a, what is it? It's a TRD off-road 4x4. It's $52,000. So as far as trucks goes, not crazy. And the little add-ons that they have on this particular truck is just 500 bucks. They're still charging for nitrogen, and they're still charging for a pinstripe. $52,758. Toyota, as far as trucks are concerned, not on the higher end, so that's why they're selling them, but they can't make enough of them. So all right, so we just got done at this Toyota dealership, and interesting thing, they had one Forerunner that was new that you could buy, and they had one more allocated in the next 30 days. So in 30 days they only have a total of 2 brand new Forerunners that they can even get to sell to somebody, and they won't know for another 2 weeks if they're even getting any more. So this is a big problem with Toyota. This is why they're not moving through a lot of vehicles right now, is because they're just not getting them to their dealers. And a lot of the Toyota dealers that I've actually went to, they're moving cars, and they're actually charging right around MSRP. I haven't seen a lot of crazy $10,000, $20,000 market adjustments on these Toyotas, and they probably could get them. All right, so not all Toyota dealerships are selling at MSRP. Don't get me wrong on that. We have been to one where on their website they had a strike through on the MSRP price, making it appear that they're selling for less than MSRP. But it turns out when we got there, this was about 2 weeks ago, they were actually just adding market adjustments on everything. They were doing $5,000 to $10,000 market adjustments on everything we looked at. But we've been to 4 different Toyota dealerships right now, and 3 of them out of the 4 were actually selling right at MSRP. And this was one of them. This was one that they couldn't get any Forerunners. They can't keep them, and that's the problem with Toyota right now. They're just not getting their dealers enough stock to be able to sell through them.
Sorry.
Serious face. I can probably just cut that part out if I wanted to.
Yes, but I mean, if
Okay.
if you said right now in a a different video. What was that?